Hey guys, so a few of you were asking about electronic cigarettes, so I figured I might as well make a video on the kind I use and how to use them, how to fill them, all that, you know. First of all, let me explain how they work. Alright, so what you got here is the battery. Now one of my batteries had gotten broken during a trip that I had gone on, and it was in my suitcase. It got broke. Be very careful. So this is a smaller battery. Honestly, this particular one is completely overpriced. I'd shop online for them and get the official Joy brand because this works fine now, but who knows? But it's good for right now. So this is your battery. Now I'm going to compare it to another one, and I don't have any cartridges for my old one, and let me find it. I set it somewhere. So just bear with me a moment. I'm going to drop it. There we go. Alright. This is not even charged. This is the pretty standard e-cig battery that you'll find in most mainstream brands that are sold in convenience stores, at Walmart. This in particular is an Enjoy battery, and what these come with are cartomizers, which it looks like a filter, and you just screw it on, and you take a drag, and it's air activated. Problem is, that can go off in your pocket. Wind comes, it's going to go off. With this is a manual battery. And so what you're going to do is you're going to press the button 5 times, and it'll blink a few times. That means it's ready, and when you turn it off, you just press it another 5 times in succession. Now, let's see here. Okay, sorry about that. This right here, oops. I'm just going to screw that back on right now. This thing is a atomizer and a cartridge. Now, how this works is that the liquid is vaporized, and I don't know if you can see that, but there's some like steel wool in there. And the liquid is vaporized by the steel wool, or the filler, or whatever, and you take a puff on it. And you hold down the battery, take a puff, and it produces a cloud of vapor. This particular atomizer is the type I've used in the past because of its large vapor production. However, these tend to get a little bit expensive in the long run and eventually burn out. So I've switched over. Now this is a cartomizer, which is a term that means a fusion of a cartridge and an atomizer, called a clearomizer. And as you can see, it's clear. This particular one's black. I'll probably get a completely clear one next time, but it is somewhat translucent. And it has measurements on here that go up to, that's why I shouldn't have got the black, because it's hard to see, 3.5 milliliters. Now this bottle right here is about 30 milliliters. And this is 24 milligrams. This is the highest you can get. I tend to smoke a lot. So that's why I get the higher ratings. But you can go down gradually if you really want to try to quit. One thing you need to know is that this is, first of all, not necessarily a smoking cessation device. It is an alternative to smoking, and there's a clear difference. There's no guarantee that will help you quit, but you can gradually go down your dosage, similar to methadone or similar drug cessation programs, which will possibly help you quit. But again, no one makes any of those claims yet, so like I said, it's all up to you. And another thing, there is little research currently on the effects of long-term use because it is relatively new. So again, making that clear. However, it's likely that this is a safer alternative because it is vaporized, simply a vaporized liquid compared to a type of smoke. And it does lack the carcinogens. Now, of course, it does have nicotine, which is it is addictive. However, nicotine in and of itself is relatively harmless as long as it is diluted, as in this liquid. Now, the ingredients here are I'm tongue-tied. Propylene glycol and vegetable glycerin. Now, those two components make up the vapor. Some will sell pure propylene glycol or PG. Some sell pure VG, and some, like this particular company, Halo, which is one of my favorite brands, have a mixture. And propylene glycol gives you a better throat hit, while vegetable glycerin gives you more of a vapor production. So with this, you get the best of both worlds. So enough of my yammering. What you do, and I already have this filled up, but what you do is, if you see right there, there is this tiny hole right here in the center. One thing you do not want to do is get your liquid into that hole because it'll ruin the whole thing. So try to avoid that as much as possible. And it's simple. And if you have a dropper on the bottle, Halo sells them with that. Others do not. Otherwise, I don't have a. Otherwise, it'll just be a typical squeeze bottle. But you get this, and you stick it down in there, and you drop your liquid in. You fill it up. It's real easy. And you just screw this back on. And by the way, this particular clearomizer is the ViviNova clearomizer. And what's great about them is they are rebuildable and have replacement parts that are much cheaper than atomizers. So without further ado, it's just like smoking a cigarette, except you just hold down this button and then you drag on it like you would with, a cigarette. Now, when you first start doing this, when you're not used to vaping, which is what is referred to as in lieu of smoking, since you're not actually smoking anything, you may notice some throat irritation. You may cough a little bit. because you're not used to that. But you do start coughing up a bit of gunk, and after a while, when you get used to this, that goes away entirely. When I first started, I was freaked out because I'm like, oh my god, it's irritating, it's worse than smoking. But give it just a couple weeks, and trust me, you will feel a lot better. Now, of course, going back to the health thing, although there are few studies on this, so again, this is all at your own risk, but in my personal opinion, and in the opinion of several doctors, some in the medical community, that is, some still disagree. It's, still on the table for debate. But it is most likely a safer alternative. Because again, you're just inhaling and exhaling vapor, and these products do lack the same number of carcinogens as cigarettes. Now, in the past, in the early days of the electronic cigarette, some companies had certain liquids and chemicals they used in there that did have maybe 2 carcinogens. However, due to the increase in quality control with brands like Halo, that has been phased out. They only use FDA-approved ingredients and flavorings. So that is out of the way. So basically, if you absolutely must smoke, go for this. That's, it's your best bet. It is highly unlikely that this will have any long-term health effects that are nearly as bad as cigarettes. But the choice is yours. That's up to the individual to decide. I personally think it's safer, and I will do a little experiment. I'll be right back. Alright. What I have here is a paper towel. And I don't have a cigarette with me, but you can try this yourself. You take a cigarette, take a few puffs, and then you exhale onto the paper towel. You will see a yellow, icky, disgusting residue on that paper towel. Now watch this. A bit hard to see, but there's no residue other than a wet spot from the condensation of the vapor. I'll try it again like this. And some of that's just saliva from the lips, but no nastiness on there. So like I said, this is pretty much your best bet. And a lot of people have used these for years. It's caused no problems for them. But again, it all depends on the individual. Now, some people may be allergic to propylene glycol. So if you find that it's really starting to irritate you, switch to pure vegetable glycerin. But anyway, besides the likely health benefits, we also have the smell. You guys know this. Your family and friends know this. When you come home, you know, you go out and you have a smoke. You're covered in cigarette smoke. They smell it. This, it leaves behind no lingering odor, and the smell, depending on what liquid you're using, is normally rather pleasant. And additionally, you have no secondhand smoke. This particular flavor is one of my favorites. It's Belgian cocoa. Kind of a sweet, subtly sweet, dry chocolate taste. Some people say this particular one isn't good for an all-day vape. I disagree. I love it. Kind of smells like a Tootsie Roll. So yeah, there you go. And that's pretty much it for this video. One more thing, actually. The ViviNova and clearamizers in general use a head. Their atomizers have a wick, and that's what soaks up the liquid. See, I have one here. One thing to know, do not take it out of the package till it's ready, because as you can see, it's getting a bit unraveled. That's not good. I'm not sure if that's still going to work, but make sure you keep them in the package till you're ready. But other than that, you're pretty much good to go. That's all you're going to need to know to start. I will probably post a few links, the cheapest places to get these online, so you can start vaping away. And normally, and I don't have all the prices on the other things, but normally let's go for about $2 a piece, and so far they last a pretty good while. These are about $6.99 to $10 a pop. So yeah, if you want to be frugal and save money, go for that. It is cheaper than smoking cigarettes, that's for sure. One final word: do not, and I repeat, do not buy any of the disposable electronic cigarettes. They will fizzle out on you in a day. They suck, and I absolutely hate when people sell them, because that really looks bad on the entire industry and looks bad on the entire vaping market. So if you're going to do it, go big or go home. As for like the refillable Enjoys, it was okay to start out on, but eventually, because their cartomizers were plastic, now you see this is glass, or a thick plastic. However, it doesn't melt. If it is a plastic, it does not melt it. I'm not entirely sure, but the plastic on the Enjoys melt very easily, and eventually you're going to taste some burnt plastic. I notice holes getting melted in them. That's not good. Also, from what I've heard, some people like Blue. Blue's not a good brand, though. It's the majority of reviews I've heard of them. I haven't tried them myself, because after Enjoy, I decided to go ahead and step up. But Blue, it's just not really a thing, because it's just not really that good. Because their idea, many of these more, mainstream ones will, they try to imitate a cigarette a little too much, and it becomes just they go more for look than functionality. I think this looks kind of cool, futuristic, mad scientist type of thing, so I'm fine with it. So if you really want a good vaping experience, get yourself one of these. So that's it. That's all I got to say, guys. Peace out, and hope you enjoyed. Long-ass 20-minute video. Wow. Later, guys.